Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. We are discussing MRI of the brain. Patient is 14 years old. This is sagittal post-contrast sequence, and here we have axial flare sequence. We can see there is arachnoid cyst in quadrigeminal cistern, which causes mass effect on superior surface of the cerebellum and on tactile plate, because of which there is significant narrowing of cerebral aqueduct. As there is significant narrowing at this level, third and lateral ventricles are dilated. We can also see this on axial images, moderate degree of obstructive hydrocephalus as lateral and third ventricles are dilated. And here we can see this is CS of iso-intense cyst in quadrigeminal cistern. We can see that there is downward herniation of cervicomedullary junction and cerebellar tonsil through foramen of the magnum, and we can also see there is serings formation in upper cervical cord at this level as well. Here we can see part of the fourth ventricle is also herniated between brainstem and cerebellar tonsil through foramen of the magnum. And because of raised intracranial pressure, we can see there is partial empty sella. All these findings can be seen on axial T1, T2 and flare sequence, where lateral and third ventricles are dilated. And we can see this is the CS of iso-intense cyst in quadrigeminal cistern, which is arachnoid cyst causing mass effect on superior surfaces of cerebellum. Similarly, this is the area of the foramen of the magnum, and there is downward herniation of cervicomedullary junction and cerebellar tonsil through this region on coronal T2 weighted sequence, and this is arachnoid cyst, and there is downward herniation of cerebellar tonsil and brainstem through foramen of the magnum. Because of raised intracranial pressure, we can see prominent CSF sleeves around optic nerves, and similarly we can also see partial empty sella. Because of raised intracranial pressure, CSF is noted herniated into pituitary fossa. So this is a complex case. We have placed it in Arnold Chiari malformation, considering herniated brainstem and cerebellar tonsil, including lower portion of the fourth ventricle, and serings formation in cervical cord. But there is another associated anomaly in the shape of arachnoid cyst, which made it more complicated. So in this case, obstructive changes in the lateral and third ventricles are not only because of mass effect or squeezed fourth ventricle, but there is also mass effect by the arachnoid cyst on cerebral aqueduct. So both of these pathologies are contributing in obstructive hydrocephalus as lateral and third ventricles are dilated. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.